So DoorDash is donating $500,000 to Black Lives Matter, which sounds great, right? Except they are doing this while they are spending $30 million to fight new labor laws in California. So what I'm going to show you here with DoorDash, it's not just about DoorDash. This is what corporations do. They'll make these donations to make it seem like they care about the moment, what's going on right now. Oh, I'm going to give money to Black Lives Matter. But then when it comes to actual making material differences in people's lives and actually doing something to benefit people, they're doing the complete opposite and doing that behind the scenes. So let me first show you the top line here when it comes to DoorDash donating $1 million to fight racial justice, or for racial justice. So half of that is going to Black Lives Matter, and the other half is them doing their own fund. Something else corporations love to do is give money to themselves to fight for issues they care about. Now, look, on its face, this is good. If this was the only piece of news here worth focusing on, this is good by itself. But this is what's actually happening behind the scenes here. So, as the LA Times reports, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash launched a $90 million fight against California labor law. So let me give you the first bit of info here. The proposal, which Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash intend to qualify for the statewide ballot next November, states that an app-based driver is an independent contractor as long as a series of conditions are met by a company. If approved by voters, the initiative would also enshrine in state law a number of perks for those workers, including a minimum amount of pay as well as insurance to cover work-related injuries and auto accidents. And it lays out details for health care subsidies, protections against on-the-job harassment or discrimination, and a system to enforce some workplace rights. Now, look, the way LA Times write this, it makes it sound like, oh, this is an incredible ballot initiative. They're fighting for all these protections for workers. No. In reality, this is a reaction to Assembly Bill 5. So this is a rejection of Assembly Bill 5, which treated gig workers more like employees. So in response to their workers now having all of these benefits, all of this support, and the ability to, say, form unions, they are instead rejecting that in favor of their own initiative that they are pouring a ton of money into to ensure that they essentially protect their own bottom line. So let me give you the quote here, which of course comes at the very end. They get to how labor groups actually feel about this. That's never going to be at the top of the story. Got to dig to the bottom. But here, labor groups vow to fight the ballot measure. These CEOs are attempting a big money veto to undo labor protections the bipartisan California Supreme Court, the California legislature, and the governor all agree on, said Art Pulaski, Executive Secretary Treasurer of the California Labor Federation. No corporation should be above the law, no matter how much they spend on political campaigns to rig the rules in their favor. So this is what happens. And of course, DoorDash isn't the only company doing this. In fact, maybe even some of these other companies that I mentioned, be it Uber, Lyft, it's possible they've given money to Black Lives Matter. But this is what companies do. And, I share a story like this because I want people to understand that when companies give, money in situations like this to movements like this, it's not done in a way to actually help the movement. It's done as a PR expense. They do this to help their own PR, to make themselves look better. So then when they were fighting for this ballot initiative, they think, hey, people are going to remember that we gave $500,000 to Black Lives Matter, and which means, we have pure intentions when it comes to pushing this ballot initiative, this anti-worker ballot initiative. So you got to support what we're fighting for here in this ballot initiative because we gave all that money to Black Lives Matter. Not telling those same people that, oh yeah, we also, spent $30 million trying to fight against these labor laws. So it's important to be able to catch on to stuff like this. Whenever you see a big company give a lot of money to any group that, it sounds like a great story, just do a little research. Look into that company, maybe just type in that company's name and labor laws, and it's possible things will come up in terms of what they've actually been fighting against. Because it's good to give money to Black Lives Matter, but if you're fighting against the material benefits, actual improvements in people's lives, then ultimately it's all done as a giant PR stunt.